Hey guys, how's it going? TechSwitch here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going through why you, yes you, should get an Apple Watch right now in 2020. Let's begin. Before I get into the reasons why you should get an Apple Watch, I just want to clear up that the Apple Watch is not a replacement of the iPhone. Sure, it does everything and in some cases more than what an iPhone can, but it's a perfect companion to the iPhone, not replacement. Now yes, you still do need an iPhone to set it up and to change most of the settings for the watch, but luckily each year the Apple Watch is slowly getting more independent of its parent iPhone. Imagine the Apple Watch as being like a teenager. It's not its own standalone thing yet, but it still has its own freedoms in some cases. Now that being said, let's get into the first reason why you should get an Apple Watch, and that reason is that it's ultimately a cool piece of tech. Now that doesn't seem like much of a reason to get an Apple Watch, but believe me, once you get one, you'll never know that you lived without it. I personally have had an Apple Watch since March of 2017, when I got my original Series 2, and then later on in October 2018, I got my Series 4 that I have now. And it's a long time to live with an Apple Watch, and I cannot remember how I lived with just a phone. This is mostly because having a device on your wrist that tells you so much information right there and then is a useful thing to have, and even a couple of years ago this would have been a sci-fi futuristic idea. Before we get into more futuristic things that the Apple Watch offers, let's talk about the form factor and the design. Of course, the Apple Watch is no Rolex when it comes to being flashy or flexing on people, unless you count the, expensive solid gold one they sold at launch. But by far it's the most personal and customizable device that Apple offers. And this is Apple we're talking about. As the Apple Watch is most of the time always on your wrist, it becomes a part of what you're wearing and who you are essentially. From whichever watch face you choose to have on your watch, to what you include on those watch faces, to what strap you have, to whatever case design you have on it. So that's like what material or colour. You can truly make the Apple Watch your own thing. And although people complain about the square squircle design, as I call it, it's iconic. You know it's an Apple Watch just by looking at it. You don't need to think, oh, is it this, is it that? No, it's just an Apple Watch. Apple really has done a good job when it comes to the design and the personalization factor of the Apple Watch. Okay, now let's get into some actual reasons. Probably the most common reason why people would get an Apple Watch is for the health tracking and the exercise related features that you get with it. At the core of the whole health tracking and exercise is the activity app, which basically is a selection of 3 rings which show you how active you've been throughout the day. Believe me, with these activity rings, it is so much easier to become a better person because it's more of a visual cue of how well you've done throughout the day. And I'm a couch potato, believe me. The red ring is your calorie goal, which you can set to however many calories you want to burn per day. For me, I use 400 calories per day because I don't really do much, but even then, 400 calories is hard if you just sit around all day like I do. The green ring is a preset exercise goal of 30 minutes, which can be anything from a brisk walk to a full-on workout. And finally, we have the blue ring, which is a stand goal, where you have to stand up for at least 1 minute per hour for 12 times. Not only do we have this main activity app, but we also have a workout app where you can record any form of exercise from running, cycling, swimming, yoga, strength training, and pretty much every form of exercise. Not only that, but there are also countless other specific exercise apps on the App Store that you can get, so if you want a specific running app and so on. But that's not all. The Apple Watch also has a heart rate sensor. On the newer models there's also an ECG, and there's also fall detection, which essentially alerts your emergency contacts if you fall over and don't appear to get up. There's even a noise app which tells you how loud the surrounding environment is. And as well, if you have friends with the activity app, then you can compete with one another to see who can exercise the most throughout a week. Apple really takes the whole health tracking thing to another level. And it's not like these health tracking features are just a gimmick for, oh look, I was healthy today. No, there have been true stories of people being saved through these features, whether that be high heart rate notifications, fall detection, or by monitoring their heart rate through an ECG. It's really kind of amazing when you think about it. It's just a tiny little thing on your wrist. Of course, these health features are a nice peace of mind to have, but Surely there's more to the Apple Watch than being your doctor. Or yes, there definitely is. One other reason why the Apple Watch is such a great device is purely because of the convenience factor that you get out of it. Notifications and calls from your phone all come directly to your wrist, so that means your phone doesn't vibrate or anything. Your watch vibrates. And this is handy because you can leave your phone upstairs or in the next room and still get your notifications. Then you can get up and do your stand goal, go and respond from your phone. You can also even respond from the watch using the scribble feature, which is handy. The Apple Watch also comes in a cellular version, so that means that you can leave your phone at home and go out, say for a run, a walk or whatever, and still get notifications and still be able to call people in the event of an emergency, which also is kind of nice. But it does cost another £100, which is kind of pricey just for a cellular option. Another convenience thing that the watch offers is essentially complications, which are basically little widgets that you can put on your watch face. If you have an Apple Watch, you probably use them and you know that they're useful. These complications can be things like the current weather, your activity rings, a shortcut to an app. It can be the calendar, or essentially anything that you want. With faces like the infograph watch face, which offer up to 8 complications all on one watch face, it makes the need to pull out your phone to look at anything kind of less of a necessity, because you have all the information you probably want to know all in one place, which is your wrist. Other convenience things that the watch has is controlling music playback, so you can play, pause, skip, raise the volume. You can even select which track you want, shuffle, all of that stuff from your watch, and you can also do that from your watch to your phone. So say you're playing music on your phone, you can control it on your watch, which is really handy when you're walking and you don't want to pull out your phone to raise the volume, skip tracks, etc, etc. Of course, you do have Siri on your watch, which can be also very handy, even though it's Siri, but it's nice having the ability to summon her whenever you please. With all of these things put together and many more, it becomes less of a need to pull out your phone to do simple tasks, because you have all of them simple tasks readily available on your watch. So many of these kinds of features that I can't really include them in this video, otherwise it will go too long. So vote in the poll above right here if you want to see a kind of tips and tricks video for the Apple Watch, and it will be similar like the macOS one which I did a few weeks ago, so as well make sure to check that one out if you have a Mac. But like I said at the start, the Apple Watch is more of an accessory that complements the iPhone than a standalone device that is essentially there to replace it. Do I recommend you get one? Totally. Now of course the question is, which one should you get? Personally, I use the Series 4 like I said, and it's a great device. Apple no longer sells it though, so now it has only the Series 5 and the Series 3. The Series 5 is essentially the Series 4 but with an always on display and a compass. That's essentially all that's different. So the Series 4, Series 5, both of them are pretty much the same thing. If you can afford it, definitely go for the Series 5 or a cheaper Series 4. But you can always still get the Series 3, which is still a perfectly good device. It's still pretty fast and it still has most of the features like a heart rate sensor. It still has the activity rings and most of the other things. Just it has an older design and it only costs £200, which is a pretty good deal. Even then, you can find all of the watches on sales in places like Amazon, so make sure to check there before you go and buy one. And that's it for this video. Make sure to like it if you did, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you are here first when I drop new videos. This is TechSpecs here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.